Hi, it's Amy from Click Roll Boom, and today I'm talking to the Rattlebacks bass player Jack to get all the intel on their recently announced debut EP, Kink. So, can you tell me a bit about how the band got together, a bit of your history?
Yeah, so Coxie and Max have known each other since birth. Their parents are like really good friends from years and years and years ago. So they've known each other since. Oh, cat's on his way. And then yeah, so yeah, they've known each other and they've been playing guitar since they were like knee high to a grasshopper together.
Yeah.
Then Coxie met our drummer Seth while he was in secondary school. Uh, Knew that he drummed, but sort of hadn't really thought too much about it. And then I, when they were first looking to do some like recording to get some demos down and stuff like that, they had somebody that was sort of like toying around on the bass for them, but wasn't much of a bass player. And the guy that was recording their demos worked with me.
Okay.
That was quite a little while back now, but he threw my name in the ring, and I got on quite well with Jack and Max. So yeah, that was that. Seth joined a little bit after I joined, and then last piece of the puzzle was Josh. We had been hunting for a singer for ages before we sort of really wanted to start moving things forward. COVID, so that just put a stop on everything.
Yes.
And then post COVID, the hunt really began. So sort of 2021, we really started to push the hunt for a singer. And then a mutual friend of ours and Josh's put a post up on his like Instagram story of Josh singing.
Yeah.
And we messaged him, was like, who's that? This guy's incredible. We need to chat to him. So we found out when he was next playing a show. We all went down, we watched it, we were really impressed, and we went up to him afterwards and was like, well, can we buy you a beer and have a little chat? So yeah, we ended up with Josh after that, and that was sort of like the completion of the Rattlebacks. Sort of, I think that was November or December 2021.
Okay. Cool. So, how would you describe your sound?
I know some of the other guys describe it as grunge and roses, but I don't know. I feel like the EP we recorded quite a while back, and we've got some more stuff in the works as well. But it's sort of still that core sound of our main influences. You can tell there's sort of like heavy Guns N' Roses stuff, very Alice in Chainsy.
Rock and rolly as well, though.
Yeah, it's got a bit more sort of rock and roll, like that, like just like classic 80s rocks style thing to it. But we're venturing into sort of like darker, heavier stuff as well. We've got we've got like properly low tuned stuff as well. But I think it still maintains that core sort of sound.
Yeah.
Like the stuff we've been working on recently is we've got like hints of Mastodon. We've got stuff from Stone Temple Pilots. So like a wide variety of influences.
So, what other bands would you say have had like a significant impact on your sound, other than the ones you've mentioned?
I mean, in terms of my bass playing, I like Tool. Tool's my favorite band. So I'm very influenced on that. If you listen to the way Seth plays the drums, he is an absolute funk machine. Like funk drumming is what he does, but he's built like a brick shithouse, and he just hits the drums so hard. It's incredible. Again, like Coxie is probably the main riff writer in the band. We all come in with it, but he's just got a knack for it. Second nature to him, and his riffs come from all sorts. Again, like that Stone Temple Pilots thing to Skid Row to just it does some like Hendrixy stuff every now and then. Max is very much into sort of Guns N' Roses. He likes Mark Tremonti. He likes his sort of southern rock things like but sort of like more modern southern rock. So there's a band called Whiskey Myers, there's Blackstone Cherry. And then Josh, we've been pushing him to limits he didn't know he could do. Quite a good Corey Taylor, but then he can also do stuff like Stevie Wonder and Christina Aguilera. So, yeah.
So are your influences the bands you like, or are they? Are you making the music you enjoy listening to?
Yeah, there's not a lot of bands out there. I think a lot of bands that claim to be rock bands now are very modern rock bands, and they go, nothing wrong with it. I quite like a bit of modern rock, but they've got sort of that high quality production, very quantized sound with like a bit of synthesizers going on and stuff. And where we really love listening to our music, it's very much sort of like 2 guitars, bass guitar, drums, singer. Or
it's nice to retain a bit of that DIY sort of ethos.
Yeah,
almost underproduced sound, so it sounds real and raw.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it sort of like as true to form as possible. We have gone a little bit production heavy on the vocal side of things for the EP, and even heavier for like some of the stuff we're working on. But ultimately, we're trying to, if you can hear it especially for the EP, if you can hear it in the recording, we would like to try and get it as close to that live as possible. So it just enhances the experience of seeing us as well as listening to us.
So you've just announced your debut EP, Kink. Can you tell me a bit about it?
It's an awesome 4-track EP. We've got Rattleback, which is the first song that's currently out now. It is a song about it's just like hard, heavy, fast riffs about a snake god called the Rattleback that we decided to make up. We've got our next single coming out on November 10th, which is called Amon, which is the Egyptian king of gods, and it is a song about sort of the feeling of being on stage and feeling of just, the grandeur of being on stage and being able to go say anything to the crowd and they're going to react to it. We've got a song, we've got 2 more, Burn It Down and Favorite Son. Both sort of, one's very sleazy, one's very anthemic. But I'm not going to go too much into that because I want to leave a little bit of surprise for people.
So you mentioned that your debut single was called Rattleback. What came first, the song title or the band name?
The band name.
Okay.
Yeah, the band name came first. I believe the band name came way before the band. Like I said, Coxie and Max have been playing together since they were probably about 11 or 12. And I think they finally, at about the age of 18, decided to start a band. And the idea of the Rattlebacks was planted. They came up with the name for the Rattlebacks. Max basically wrote all of Rattleback. And just the idea for the song title was to call it well, not necessarily after ourselves, but make it a reason to give it a reason to be named after us.
So what kind of message or emotion do you hope your music conveys?
Very much dependent on the song. We've got this EP for sure is definitely us saying we're here and we are like I said, Rattleback's very just sort of fast, straight out the gate, swinging, the sort of music that you could get pumped up to quite easily. Favorite Son, again, that same sort of thing, but with a bit more grandeur to it. Amon is not as fast. It's like, again, just sort of, it's very much a get ready, here we are sort of EP. The stuff we're working on next covers quite a wide variety of different things, from procrastination to loss to mental health to
So the stuff you've got coming in the future is probably more deep than the stuff you're about to put out. It's the stuff you're putting out now is just about making that initial impact.
Pretty much, yeah. We wanted to just show everybody that we're here, show everyone that we're here to stay as well. We don't plan on going anywhere for the time being. I'm hoping for like at least the next 60 years we can be doing this.
So how do you approach the songwriting process?
So when we're doing our songwriting, it's very much someone walks in with a riff idea. So again, like I said, Coxie is an incredible riff writer. He will come in, write something up, and then come and play it. And then either Max will try to learn it on guitar, maybe work on it. Seth will add his drums, I'll add a bass line. Sometimes it will just be something as simple as, okay, we're just going to play a power chord under your riff because your riff sounds so good. Other times it will be like we've written songs from a riff within 20 minutes. We've written songs from a riff within about 5-6 months. It's very dependent on the song. But it's always a really fun process. Do
you all write your own elements? So do you always write your bass track and
for the it's unless someone has really sat down to figure it out, because I think Rattleback was very much that. Max had written like the whole thing and he was like, this is how it goes, and this is the vision in my head, and it came out spectacularly. So I'm happy to like play that, but a lot of the time if they come in, I will play my bass part. Go, oh, okay, I could copy the guitar here, or if I go to this bit here, might sound quite cool and leave a little bit of space or whatnot.
So what's been your most exciting or memorable moment so far?
For me, we did a stint on Lightship 95, which is a floating 550-ton studio on the Thames. And we did a stint up there. So the stuff we've got coming out, it'll probably be sort of this, maybe just under a year away, is our debut album, As Yet Untitled. So we did a stint for, I think it was 9 days up in the studio, up in London, getting on each other's nerves, ups and downs. But I think so far either that or anytime I'm on stage. Anytime I'm on stage, it's hard to beat. There's certain shows where there's like 5 people, so you can just hype up those 5 people, and there's times where you're on stage where there's 200 people, and you can hype those 200 people up as much as you can. And I feel the same either way.
So what challenges have you faced or bumps in the road so far, and how have you overcome them?
COVID was a big one. Not being a singer for absolutely ages was a massive hurdle, and we just slogged it out. It was just a case of show up every week, write the songs. It got depressing to a point where we all nearly took a little hiatus, but we thought, no, we've come this far, we've written so much, and there's got to be something on the horizon. It's just a case of like slogging it out, really putting our nose to the grindstone and just trying to do the best we can and hope that it pays off.
Try not to lose faith, I should think.
Just keep going. But that's very much been our mentality. I mean, we played a show in Camden last weekend. I was meant to drive, my car broke down. Josh was meant to meet Coxie, the bus was delayed. Just everything that could have gone wrong that day went wrong that day. But we went up there, we played a killer show. And
it must be hard. It must be hard not to get despondent sometimes, especially if it's costing you a lot of money and it's costing you a lot of time and things are always going wrong and things like COVID. It must be hard to not think, is this really worth it?
Yeah, I mean, we have thought that quite a bit, but now the fruits of our labor are starting to pay off, and we had a look at doing sort of like the release for Kink and getting the album sorted, like getting it recorded, starting the release plan and everything for that. and realized how much it was going to cost. We started a GoFundMe,
Mhm.
and our fans came together and really helped us out. So
Wow.
yeah, we probably would still be struggling if it wasn't for them.
It's quite incredible how music can bring people together.
Yeah, it is.
So what's been your favourite gig to date?
Oh, my favorite gig, probably we played at a rap show. My best friend is a rapper,
Mhm.
and it was his 30th birthday, sort of January 2022, so just after Josh had joined the band.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I just want to put a night on of good music. So we had this sort of like jazzy band that played with a rapper, a couple of rappers by themselves, and then us, a rock band. And we went in there, and there's all these hip hop heads sort of looking at us, and we were wearing like leather and flares and stuff, all that sort of stuff. And they looked rather confused. And then the second we started playing, like seeing their faces turn, and to like a packed room of like 200 or so people. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes you can have like a real different genre on a lineup, and it works. People will stand and watch. I've seen it myself. But sometimes you get it where the room will just clear in between bands. I think there's a very fine line between what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, we definitely thought the latter there. It was like, oh, as soon as we start playing, everyone's walking out for a cigarette. But no, we managed to keep people in the room. We had quite a few people come up and go, oh, I don't listen to this sort of music, but you guys are great.
Yeah, that's quite an achievement, because it's a bigger thing than, say, playing to a room full of a rock fans. Say you've had a heavier metal band on, then you've followed.
Yeah.
So kind of although you might be different, there's still a sort of a similarity. But the fact that these were completely polar opposite fans and they stayed in and watched, that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, we were really happy that day.
So have you got any shows coming up?
Oh, we do. I'm gonna have to pull out the old phone, if I can find it. Hang on, you have to come off me. Here we are. So yeah, we are about to hit the road and go on tour for a little bit. So I should have prepped this beforehand. Yeah, we are playing November 10th. We've got the Brighton Pipeline. November 17th, we've got the Horsham Malt Shovel. November 18th, Southampton The Hobbit. November 24th, Norwich The Crypt. November 25th, Eastbourne Blue Bar. December 2nd, Wellingborough Old England. 8th of December, Hitchin Club 85. And the 9th of December, Andover The Rock House.
You're actually playing Norwich.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. I love how you do these interviews. No band has ever come into Norwich. I'll have to come down and see you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. We're playing with a band called Red Eyed Cult, and they're sort of like a really heavy doom band, but I'm really good friends with the guitar player. So
okay, cool. Yeah. What date was Norwich?
Norwich is November 24th.
Oh, okay. No, it won't clash. Oh yeah, I'll have to come down.
Awesome.
Cool.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're tickets and everything should be going live relatively soon.
Okay, cool. I'll look out for it.
Cool.
So what does the future of the Rattlebacks look like?
Busy. Very busy. So as I said, we've got our current release plan underway. We're doing the tour for that. As soon as the tour's finished on that, it is very much onto the release plan for the next project, or the album, which is as yet untitled still. So
when are you hoping to have that out?
Ideally, we want it's coming out in 2024.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like it out sort of for I don't know. We haven't really thought that far ahead. It probably sort of August time, I think, would be ideal. But yeah, that is still a conversation to be had.
Good, because it gives the EP chance to sort of make an impact, people to hear it, to then build up to the album rather than rushing it out, say, in January.
Yeah, I mean, the last few months have been a bit stressful trying to get everything together for the EP release, because we were having a bit of a chat about it, and we could do an EP in 2024, like early 2024, but then if we did that, we'd probably want to leave the album until 2025. So it just adds another year on. So we're sort of scrambling to get everything together for this.
It's important for you to release an album, because obviously nowadays a lot of bands, because of how we consume music, a lot of bands just release single after single. Is it important to have that whole product?
It's more for the accolade of saying that we've released an album. Just saying, yeah, sort of having that underway. And personally, for me, I love albums. I like the combination of the fact that it can tell a story. It's a piece of artwork that can be consumed in like individual tracks or as a whole, and then you've got the artwork, you've got the little books on the inside, you've got music videos. The whole thing can sort of go nicely hand in hand. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm very much an album guy.
Yeah, I think that's something else with how Spotify is now. It's very rare that even if you do consume an album, you consume it in the order the band intended. So I think sometimes I'm guilty of it, but I think sometimes you lose a lot of the meaning, because obviously the artist has thought of the track order and how they play out, and then you just put it on shuffle and listen to it.
Yeah. We I mean, I think originally it was meant to be like the EP, Kink was meant to be Burn It Down, Amon, Rattleback favorite song, and then after we heard it all together, it should now be, I think it's going Amon, Burn It Down, Rattleback favorite song. So it's starting on Amon, whereas before I think it was starting on Burn It Down. So yeah, we've swapped it around and stuff. I think we've settled on an album set list or sort of track list. But again, that's vastly changed from where we thought before we had the stuff recorded.
Yeah, I suppose if you're constantly writing, you may come up with something in between now and it being released that you want to put on there instead, or as well as, or
potentially. I mean, the album is probably like 95% recorded.
Okay.
There was one song that didn't quite cut the mustard, so that will be released at some point, but it will probably be after the album. And I mean, we're already writing album 2, so we've gone back, rather than we've played the songs to death at rehearsals week after week after week, and now we're out gigging them week after week after week. So it's just a case of like, we want a new challenge.
So lastly, what advice would you give anyone trying to sort of make it in the music industry or start out in a band?
Just do it for the fun of it, and stop doing it if you don't enjoy it. Like, I've been in bands before where it does seem grueling, but at the end of it, I'm still having fun. And then I've been in bands where I've played shows and stuff and I like the shows, but then I really don't enjoy going to the rehearsal and it's just not going anywhere. But yeah, I'd say do it for fun. If you're sort of doing it to make it because you think it's going to be easy, it's not. But yeah, and then hopefully your passion will resonate with somebody, and that somebody will listen to your music because they can tell that you're passionate about it.
So the bands that you say you've not lasted in for very long, just going back on that, is that because of the music they were making? Is that the sort of the type of music you were making, or the people you were with, or just right?
I've been in like some bands where I've joined and then like maybe 4 rehearsals in, I'm just like, this really isn't the band for me. Again, it's just sort of either work ethic, some people come along and it's just a case of, oh, have you learnt your parts? Oh no, well, we're at practice now so I can do them. And you go, oh well, I've been at home for like the last week playing this, so and then I've been in other bands where the guys are great, but the music wasn't for me, like it's not bad music, it's just not for me. And then
what's the other sort of advice is just give it a go. You don't know if you don't try.
No, I mean, I've been in like my first ever band was like a metalcore sort of band, screamy, shouty, down-tuned music, and I listen to a little bit of that still. But yeah, for me, that's not the way I think like my music preference goes these days. And I've been in bands where we've done sort of like Rage Against the Machine style stuff, and I absolutely love Rage Against the Machine. But then I don't know, like it never really went anywhere. Turned up to rehearsal, but no one ever went out of their way to try and book a gig, and no one ever went out of their way to sort of, we should record this in a studio and stuff like that. So
when you're a smaller band, playing live's the most important part.
Yeah, definitely. It gets
you're going to get your name out there.
Yeah, just getting people in your local area to know you.
Yeah.
I used to work in a guitar store, and when I was there, I was walking around and someone started playing one of the Rattlebacks riffs, and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, I saw you the other day, so I went home and heard the song."
Brilliant.
Great, man.
That must be a really kind of heartwarming type thing to hear. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just nice to know that like sort of people in the local community at least like the music, and then it always shows if we play a hometown show. So for us, that's we're a bit spread, but yeah, for the most part, it's either Horsham, Brighton, or Guildford. We tend to get a pretty good turnout.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's been great. Thank you ever so much for talking to me.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.